It is Thursday morning, August the 14th, and this is Coffee Talk. Rise and shine, my friends. I'm Wesh 2 first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. We get together 7 days a week here. Hurricane season, non-hurricane season, whatever it may be. We talk about the tropics. I'm running a couple of seconds late here, just trying to get my protein shake ready to go because that's going to be my coffee cup during this coffee talk. But I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great start to the day in your neighborhood. Of course, you can see the bottom left corner. There's Tropical Storm Erin. And I got to tell you, the thing is looking better and better organized, as a matter of fact, this morning. I would be very surprised if they don't up the initial intensity here for this morning's advisory. So let's do this. Let's get right out to the full hits, runs, airs, and just kind of see what's doing. There's Tropical Storm Erin. You can see maximum sustained winds are at 50 miles an hour. It is expected to continue to get stronger over the next couple of days' time. As a matter of fact, we take a look at the forecast from the National Hurricane Center, and that forecast cone brings its intensity up to Category 1 status by tomorrow afternoon. And then notice passing, and I'll just do this. I'll kind of zoom it in just a little bit just to give us a better idea, right? So tomorrow afternoon, it gets a little stronger, becoming a hurricane. Then it gets close to Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, the Leeward Islands, before gradually recurving and staying out to sea. And it's that recurvature that we've got a high confidence will happen. The exact location of that may be a little questionable. Certainly, that's going to be kind of a piece of this weather story we're going to be watching over the next couple of days' time. When we look at the computer models this morning, they are still very tightly packed. We know where it's going the next couple of days. Does it nudge a little more to the left? On that recurvature, the timing of the recurvature is the question. And if I may, it's kind of wild, right? Because it wasn't that long ago that we wouldn't know exactly when it was going to recurve. The reality is here, this is raw model data, okay? And I think the models are doing a bang up job. They really are doing a good job of identifying that recurve. When we look at the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, it's even more remarkable to me. When we look at the last 5 tracks from the National Hurricane Center, there has only been a 30-mile shift. That's it. These are the official forecasts. So even if the models are not identical, right? It really kind of goes to show you how great these computer models have been. Now, why do we know that this is going to recurve? A lot of people have been asking, like, what happens if it doesn't recurve? Atmospherically, though, we have a high confidence of this recurvature because this area of high pressure that's building our heat in moves off to the west and basically opens the door between areas of high pressure for this to escape. It's an escape route of sorts. And that's exactly there where we get to recurve it. Okay? So atmospherically, this is unless this stays super, super, super weak, but it does not look like that's the case. Because it's not, there's a nice window for it to recurve. This should not be a United States storm. This should not be a you and I Florida storm. As a matter of fact, the tropical models are designed for tropics. The ensembles off of the global models, these are not designed for tropics. These just look at storm systems. So they're going to naturally be a wider envelope. But even the wider envelope, the European and GFS Solutions have 0 members hitting Florida. 0. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the Carolina coast, there is only 1 member of the European model that is showing any kind of a United States landfall there. So again, the difference between these and the tropical models specialize in what's going on with the tropics. These are global, so there's going to naturally be a wider swath there. But I think that this illustrates that story very, very well. Okay. Confidence continues to grow. Yesterday, there was some concern looking at model trends. This is the consensus of all the tropical models here. I'm giving it a second to load. And the consensus of those tropical models yesterday was shifting. Okay. To give you an idea of what I mean, this was 2 days ago. This was yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. kind of started one run, two runs, three runs, and then the fourth, the most recent run is this bright yellow. So yesterday there was a definite shift off to the west, closer to the United States. That stopped this morning. That bold line kind of came back just a little bit, and it's going to wibble wobble back and forth. But the overall idea is that we have at least paused any kind of a trend. So that's good. That continues to build confidence in the computer model. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Okay. So again, when we look to the forecast from the National Hurricane Center, they have been holding on to this. I think this is a really good forecast. If you've got friends or family in Puerto Rico, for example, this may be one of those situations where they're going to have to deal with some squally weather. So let me do this. Let me dial up our Futurecast model. And that's on Invest 98. We can look at that in a little bit. But let's just come over here and set the view. All right, let's just roll through time. Okay. Friday, Saturday. So as far out as it goes by Sunday, you can kind of see the storm system north. So maybe some squally weather. That's as far out as the Futurecast goes, at least in this version. Now, hold on. Okay, that should work. Maybe. Or did I just break it? Yeah, I think I broke it. Awesome. Oh no, it did work. Okay. All right. Does that go out longer? So that's the lower resolution Futurecast. So clearly it goes out. Now that's 72. Let's go out custom. Give me a second. It's thinking. Hold on a second. Oh, not days, hours. No, sugar. Today, custom, 128 hours. Valid number of days. I got it. Hold on. I'm sorry. I just broke this. Of course. That custom 128. There we go. Okay. All right. So there's Futurecast kind of rolling through. So that's as far as Futurecast goes. Kind of taking it north, though. You can see the core of the storm is going north. That's all I wanted to show. So maybe some squally weather to Puerto Rico. Boy, long story long. The big thing I think that the United States is going to feel is going to be increased wave heights. Watch the model how as it lifts to the north, gets toward Bermuda. I mean, it's going to be bringing some very, very large wave action to the entire eastern seaboard. So anticipating a high risk of rip currents late this weekend through next week. Okay. Nautilus 125 is a borderline category 4. Could it briefly cross that line? As far as intensity goes on it, well, if you look at the intensity plots on Erin, give me a second to find that graphic. No, not that one. That's here we are. Here's the intensity product for Erin. I mean, it's you can see some of the models are at least trying to hint at it. Could get up to category 4 intensity. I mean, that's on the top side of the intensity model envelope, but it's there. So the potential is there for it to hit Cat 4. I mean, that's a possibility. You can see some of the models are even keeping it weaker, trying to keep it as a category 1 storm. And remember, looking down the line, let me just get my next TV hit here set up. But looking down the line, a category 4 storm will act differently than a category 1 storm, right? So that's one of those things. And what do they say? It isn't over until the fat lady sings, right? Like until the storm does what it's supposed to do, you just kind of have to watch the trends on things. And so that's exactly what we're going to need to do. All right, let's see here. Weather 3 shot at the desk after Black Bear. All right. Questions, comments, concerns about this so far? Anything at all. Surfs up, Cole's saying. Yeah, for sure, surfs up. Indeed. Indeed, 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 indeed. Yep. Which is fine, that as long as the storm doesn't come and bother us. Now, here's the recon schedule. Do have a recon mission scheduled for tonight. That'll give us some really good data, get that into the computer forecast models. And then we've got a couple of recon missions for tomorrow as well, so that'll be great. So little by little, we're getting better data coming into the computer models. Not that they're out of whack or anything, but more data is always better data, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Heading for a cruise St. Thomas on Sunday. What do you think the waves will be like? It's going to be a little busy. It's going to be a little bumpy. Yeah, yeah. Your staff there is going to be doing their thing. How big? The models are saying low gets once this thing gets north of Newfoundland is crazy. Oh yeah, as it transitions, yeah, yeah, that's definitely a thing. All right, let's do this. Let me go get us set up at the green screen. I got to move a key in order to have you guys with me for weather. I have to move the keyboard here so that I can put you on the stand. All right. Is there a chance the high pressure to its north could build further west than anticipated? Everything seemingly is behaving itself when it comes to the storm's kind of motion. So that's the good news. Marie's asking, when will Georgia know if we're in the clear for Saturday or later? I think that the confidence is pretty high. Georgia, South Carolina is in the clear. The question is, how close does it get? I think is the question. I don't think that we're going to be looking at the moment like a direct landfall or anything. Patty's asking about anything behind Erin. So after this weather forecast, after I do a couple of these other forecasts, we can start looking at some raw model data to see because there's definitely stuff to look at there. Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, we've got a weather forecast for CW18 coming up here. So forgive me. I'm going to go into doing TV mode here. But you get to say hi to Alan and Sonica.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
It's been an interesting morning. I keep missing weather hits.
Thing though, Eric does 25,000 things behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and it's not even just a wish. So you are juggling more than I think.
I was logged into Portland, Maine, and Boston, Massachusetts
Yes,
weather
there you
systems.
go.
Oh
There you
boy.
go.
That
You
was
got a lot going on.
and pushing icons to your old station.
Oh.
Talking to your old talking to Alan's old morning meteorologist, Jason Dunning, this morning. So getting all kinds of weather icons because graphics.
I mean, the morning show in and of itself is
It's a lot.
but then add on top, like, I mean, you do coffee talk, you do like all of these things behind the scenes,
Yeah.
graphics packages, and all this stuff. Like it's beyond.
There's a lot that you do. And you do a
Anyways,
great
it's
job.
appreciation for you, I guess.
Do what?
What's appreciation
Hey,
for you?
we're just doing what we can.
I was in here yesterday when we were talking.
About
It's all about Eric.
oh, that's
But
dumb.
it is all about Eric.
All right. We
Jason
don't.
Guy made an AI song about Eric Burris.
It was
All
crazy.
about Eric. It was
Was it-
catchy.
What's it all?
It was like
What-
a 90s jingle,
I love 90s jingles.
but like updated. It was like if a 90s jingle happened today.
And then
Yeah.
somebody created like a
They
like
made a logo. Somebody made a
I'm
logo.
gonna get
Really?
one of those. I want a sweatshirt with "It's all about Eric."
Oh my gosh.
Actually, a rain jacket's probably more appropriate
Yeah.
for Florida.
Stand there and take the compliment, Burris. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
That's what makes you so
Awkward.
no. I'm great.
Well,
Great.
All right. We got weather coming up here. Wishing Portland, Maine would share some of that cooler air.
all right, let's turn now to our local forecast here at 8:17 on your Thursday morning. And folks, if you thought yesterday was hot,
Yeah.
today is going to be even hotter.
I mean, impact weather is what we're
Right.
talking about. And it doesn't have to do with the storms, which we're
Right.
also expecting.
Yeah, yeah. Florida's gonna Florida,
Yeah.
man. It's really something, right? So today is basically the same temperature as yesterday, but we're dialing up that humidity enough that it's going to be impactful, which is why we're calling it so creatively impact weather. All right. So high temperatures in the mid 90s, but feels like temperatures running 105 to 108 on average, with some areas feeling even higher than that. So say from about 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's when things really start to crank up. That heat advisory is in effect through 7 p.m. Here's your actual air temperatures. We're going to hang around 92. We're going to do 95 this afternoon in Orlando, 96 in Winter Haven, 94 in the villages, lower 90s at the beaches, but again, feels like 105 to 108. It's gorgeous outside. Our Tawacam network taking us to Lake Dora to Berries. You just see the sun kissing those beautiful trees. It's gorgeous, isn't it? We have already started warming things up. It's 82 degrees in Orlando, 78 in the villages, 79 in Palm Coast. Futurecast by 1 p.m. already showing a few clusters of rain. I think by 2, 3 p.m., though, we start to see more and more activity and eventually kind of working over toward the I-95 corridor. So it's definitely an earlier start to the shower and thunderstorm regime today. Dinner time today around Lake Polk counties and then kind of gradually fades thereafter. But an earlier start to the storms also means rainy day dismissal for some of our little ones. So plan accordingly. All right, to the tropics. Here's Tropical Storm Erin. Winds are at 50 miles an hour. Hurricane hunters head in tonight with the NOAA P3 Orion flying out of Lakeland. And then tomorrow, other recon missions scheduled. That'll help with computer forecast model. Still a bit of a broad stroke in terms of exact timing of the recurvature. The good news is the recurvature should happen. And I've got to throw some props at the National Hurricane Center. Their last 5 forecasts, the centers are on these lines. They have only shifted their forecast 30 miles. That's a heck of a job that they're doing. That's why they're the experts. Now, steering currents are very clear. The area of high pressure building our heat in opens up a corridor where Erin is able to recurve and stay out to sea. That's why the confidence is still very, very high that this recurves. And I, for one, am very okay with that. So, Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast showing that, yes, we've got those thunderstorms in the forecast for us the next couple of days, but the rain chances coming on up looking ahead to the weekend. All right, Megan, good morning.
She's along the pool right now, traveling eastbound.
All right, so I want a couple seconds, have you too. All right, so we've got this hit. All right, let's look at some models. Well, we've got the next hit. Stand by. Da, 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 da. All right, so here are the raw models. Let's look together and just kind of see, is there something around Erin? You know, the Euro AI has been hinting at that for a while. First off, here's the GFS. There's Erin recurving nicely by Felicia. High pressure building in. Look at that. Nothing on the GFS. Love that. All right, backing it up. Let's go to the Euro model. There's Erin. Switch from the 6Z to the 0Z. A little weak something right there around the 22nd. A weak something gets into the Gulf, works into the northern Gulf. That fits the time frame for the slow Gulf low. So my friends, just know there may be something. It's showing up on the Euro very, very weak, but don't be surprised if that's actually a signal. That shows up in our long-range hurricane forecast. All right. Here's the Euro AI. There goes Erin. There's the next one. Interestingly enough, recurving. Don't know that that's the case. And then another one out near Puerto Rico, very, very weak around the 29th. Ensemblage. GFS ensembles. There's Erin, that model spreading. Now, notice though, interestingly enough, Erin, some of those ensemble members are just off of the shoreline for the GFS. So there's that. And then there's the next thing afterward around the 27th. So the GFS operationally isn't picking that up, but the ensemble is. So there's that. All right, let's switch over, look at the European ensembles. There's Erin staying well off of our coastline. That's fine with me. Then we start to see more ensemble support for something, right? Yeah. Not significant agreement at all, but it's trying to sniff something out the end of August. And then the Euro AI. There's Erin. There's something behind Erin. All right, so I would say around the 25th, 26th. Yeah, it looks like Hornets indeed. I'd say around the 25th, 26th. Do not be surprised if we aren't tracking something. Models are kind of singing something there, right? All right, so that's kind of where we're at. Okay, I don't think any Nautilus. I don't know who you're talking to, Nautilus. Somebody was asking. if somebody was asking if Erin is going to be coming to us, the good news is the indicators are very clearly that no, Erin should not be a threat to us whatsoever. The ensembles, the global ensembles, are keeping it off of our shoreline. So that's the good news there. Okay. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Anything at all? Justin says hurricanes are dangerous. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh my gosh, Frank, I can't repeat that. All right. I can't repeat that. Busy mornings, I gotta run. Go do your thing. Catherine's asking, so after the recon mission tomorrow, we should have better data. Yeah, more data into the computer models is always a good thing. So yes, we'll have that. Let's do that. Let's switch to the next weatherhead is the Today Show. Why is Wesh not branded as NBC2? Because it's not. I don't know. It's not my call. I'm just a weather guy. Different stations come up with different names. Nikki says, I'm watching those ensembles. 6C ensembles definitely shifted west. We shall see. Yeah, it's not written in stone. That's the thing, right? Come on, hype it up. You need the hits. I mean, I'm at 1,000 or so people watching right now. For people that want to watch a hyper, I'm just not the guy. I'm just not that guy. If that's what you want. All right, real quick. Haven't even talked about the other area. This is Invest 98 down in the southern Gulf. You can kind of see some of that moisture bubbling up just a little bit. Nothing crazy. We've definitely got something to watch down there. The overall expectation is that this does not develop. Hurricane Center's 8 o'clock update on tropical weather outlook basically highlights this as having a 20% chance of forming. Probably not going to do much down there. We'll watch it and see, but essentially you've got today, tonight, and tomorrow as this thing kind of tries to lift up toward the Texas and Mexico border there. There's the computer forecast models for it. All right. That's kind of where we're at. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns for Erin or otherwise, my friends? Questions, comments, concerns? Can we scrap the icon yet? Scrap the icon. You mean the model, the icon model? Gosh, I didn't even look at it this morning. Let's look. At the key, Roger. Is there anything interesting? Is the icon doing anything? Yeah, I mean the icon, nothing crazy. If you were referring to the icon model, I don't know what you were referring to. All right, we've got today's show cut in. Let's go do that. Stand by. Yeah, good morning to you, Sonica. Starting off with temperatures in the lower 80s, but by this afternoon, we'll start to bubble up some showers and thunder showers a little early today, 3, 4, 5 p.m. That's going to be about the only saving grace from the heat. Today, big heat. 95 will feel like 105 to 108. Impact weather because of those feels like temperatures. Megan, good morning. All right. Let's see here. What would you call that part of the Gulf? Oh, you mean the Bay of Campeche? Drink? Here, hold on, I'll drink with you guys. Ugh. Pat's updating us on the rocket launch. Ugh. Terry, I'm so glad you're not that. I mean, I'm just not that guy. I'm just not that guy. Key out of headlines, Roger.
Oh man.
How you doing, Megan?
So freaking tired today.
Okay. Okay, after the launch, Roger that. So a 2-shot. So I'm not at the key. Oh boy. All right. Let's go do this. And then we can talk after this weather hit.
Right now, SpaceX is launching another batch of Starlink satellites from Cape Canaveral Spaceport Station.
Let's go ahead and listen in.
15. Now understand, this may be delayed versus out the window. Boy, that never gets old, does it? All right, got to get ready for weather.
Beautiful morning after a launch of our SpaceX, but things are going to be changing for many of us today, especially here in Central Florida. And right now, this one meteorologist Erin Erin, later this afternoon, we're calling for impact weather.
Yeah, that's right. Feels like temperatures are going to be getting into the triple digits, 105, 108, in some cases, even nearly 110. And because of that, we have those heat advisories posted. It's going to feel even hotter than yesterday, that's for sure. So take, for example, Orlando. All right, here's a look at our planner. By lunchtime, 107, 109, 2 p.m. That continues through about 4 o'clock and basically staying in that extreme caution zone all day long. So use extreme caution, right? Hydrate, take it easy, frequent breaks, the whole nine. Outside this morning, look how pretty this is. That's why we call it the city beautiful, huh? Blue sky over top of us. It's 82 there now, 78 over Daytona Beach, and 80 degrees in Melbourne. We do build the thunderstorms in today and earlier. 50% coverage by 3 p.m., 30% coverage through dinner time and beyond. But that heat is going to be something else. All right, to the tropics we go, tracking Tropical Storm Erin. Convection is building. This thing wants to become a hurricane. So let's talk about when that happens and where it goes. Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast in minutes. Now at 8:31, time for a traffic check. Megan, good morning.
Good morning, Eric. This is a live look here. Tropical lines still sit back with the area left down near.
Belinda, I love I love calming people with your info and tell them only to watch you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Devin's asking, okay, back to the question. NOAA funding cuts making it difficult to track storms. I think I think it's one of those cases where the folks inside there know the inside baseball. Um, Thus far, the Hurricane Center has done unbelievable work, and they're going to continue to do unbelievable work. So I can't speak to that, and I know that they don't either. So that gets into politics. I will tell you this though, Devin, the folks at the Hurricane Center are the best in the biz. They are great partners to us in the television weather enterprise, and I'm grateful to everything that they do for us. And that's basically it. All right. Let's see here. Jeremy mentioned a track in the tropics later this week. Is that happening today or tomorrow? He hasn't said anything to me, so don't know what to tell you there. See, I'm looking. Yeah, I don't see anything there, so it's not going to be today. Let's see here. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions at all? Yeah, there. Oh, is he really? With the bleeps and the squeaks and the sheeps, Oliver? All right. That's all I've got, my friends. Thanks for hanging out for Coffee Talk today. Just watching Erin. Good news is, not going to be a threat to us, doesn't look like. Jay, why do I feel like it's bring your child to work day? As long as I don't have to feed you lunch. All right, listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Be well. We'll see you today on CW 18 through 10 a.m. And of course, Coffee Talk tomorrow morning starting at 8 a.m.